Manisha bought 3 identical handkerchiefs from a shop. To decorate them, she attached laces around them. If she used 4.26-meter long laces to decorate all 3 handkerchiefs, how much lace would she have used for each handkerchief? To find this, we have to divide 4.26 by 3. Here, we have to divide the decimal number by a whole number. Let's solve it. If we consider a square as a unit, then the first number, 4.26, tells us how many squares we have to shade, and the second number, 3, tells us in how many equal parts we have to divide the shaded parts. To denote 4.26, we will shade 4 full squares and 2/10 and 6/100 of one square. Now let's divide 4.26 into 3 equal parts. Can you tell how we will divide 4 units into 3 equal parts? Think a little. Let me tell you. We can put 1 unit in each part. On doing so, we will be left with 1 unit. To divide this, we have to divide it into decimal parts. Now here, there are a total of 10 plus 2, which is 12 tenths parts. After dividing them into 3 equal parts, each part will have 4 tenths. We will also divide the remaining 6/100 into 3 equal parts. This will give 2/100 in each part. Now you can see that each part has 1 unit, 4 tenths and 2/100, so each part will be 1.42. We can say that 4.26 divided by 3 equals 1.42, which means Manisha must have used 1.42 meters lace for each handkerchief. To divide decimal numbers in mathematics, we can first express them as fractions. Like here, we have to write 4.26 as 426 by 100. Then we divide them. To divide fractions, we keep the number that is divided as it is and multiply it by the reciprocal of the second number. In this way, we get 1.42. Now suppose she had used 4.27-meter lace for all 3 handkerchiefs. Then how much lace would she need for each handkerchief? Let's find out. For this, we will divide 4.27 by 3. 4.27 divided by 3 is equal to 427 by 100 divided by 3 by 1, which is equal to 427 by 3 into 100, which is equal to 427 by 3 into 1 by 100. Now let's divide 427 by 3. On dividing, we will get the quotient 142, but the remainder is not 0. In this case, we put the decimal point to the right of the number being divided and then take 0. You must be aware that taking 0 in this way does not change the value of the number. We will place this 0 at the bottom right of the remainder, which will make the number 10. Since we are dividing the digits after the decimal, we will now place the decimal point to the right of the last digit in the quotient. Now we see that multiplying 3 by 3 gives us the nearest value of 10, but a smaller number 9. So, we will write 3 to the right of the decimal point in the quotient and subtract 9 from the remaining 10. Now again we get the remainder 1. Again, we will add 0 to the number. Again the remainder will be 10 and again we repeat the division. Similarly, if we continue to divide, we will get 142.333 in the quotient. Thus, the number will never end. Therefore, we limit the number to as many digits as required. Like here, we will take only till 142.3. So now we can write 4.27 divided by 3 as 142.3 into 1 by 100. We can write this as 142.3 by 100. To divide it by 100, we move the decimal point 2 places to the left. This will result in 1.423. Now let's understand how to divide one decimal number by another decimal number. A person covers a distance of 7.2 kilometers. If he takes 1.2 hours to cover such a distance, then how much distance will he be able to cover per hour? To find out the answer, we have to divide 7.2 kilometers by 1.2 hours. As you can see, here we are dividing one decimal number by another decimal number. Let's obtain the quotient of 7.2 divided by 1.2. 7.2 divided by 1.2. This division means how many groups of 1.2 can be formed out of 7.2. So let us denote the number to be divided first. We will do it in this manner. Let us make a group out of 1.2, that is 1 unit and 2 tenths. Similarly, we can make 6 groups of 1.2 from 7.2. Therefore, we can say that 7.2 divided by 1.2 is 6. One way to obtain the quotient is to write the decimal numbers to be divided as fractions. 7.2 can be written as 72 by 10 and 1.2 can be written as 12 by 10. 72 by 10 divided by 12 by 10. Can you tell us how we will divide this fraction? Think a little. Absolutely correct. We will keep the first number exactly the same and multiply it by the second number's reciprocal. 72 by 10 into 10 by 12. Now 10 in the numerator and 10 in the denominator can be cancelled by division, and we will get 72 by 12 results in 6. Therefore, the person covers a distance of 6 kilometers per hour. Another way to do this easily is to write 7.2 and 1.2 one below the other as numerator and denominator. Now, we will try to make the denominator a whole number. For this, we can multiply the denominator by 10. To keep the values same, we will also have to multiply the numerator by 10. Multiplying 1.2 by 10 will move the decimal point one place to the right. Since there are no digits after the decimal point, we can ignore it. Similarly, we get the number in the numerator as 72. Now, we divide 72 by 12 to get 6. Now let us see an interesting method of dividing decimal numbers by numbers like 10, 100 and 1000. Here, the results are expressed by dividing the decimal number 3316.4 by 10, 100, 1000 and 10,000. The funny thing is that the number to be divided and the number in the result are the same. If you look carefully, you will find that as many zeros are there in 10, the decimal point will move that many places to the left. As 10 has one zero, so the decimal point moves one place to the left. 100 has two zeros, so the decimal point has moved two places to the left. Similarly, in 1000, there are three zeros, so the decimal point is three places to the left. By advancing the sequence, we can see that after dividing by 10,000, the decimal point has moved four places to the left. What does this tell you? Think a little. Let me tell you, when a decimal number is divided by 10 or a multiple of 10 such as 100, 1000, 10,000, then the digits of the result and the decimal number remain the same, but the decimal point moves to the left as many times as the number of zeros with 1. So today, we have learned division of decimal numbers. We will understand division of decimal numbers. Manish painted the walls of his house. He required 7.92 liters of paint to paint 4 identical walls. If he used an equal amount of paint for all the walls, then find the amount of paint he used for each wall. The example shows that Manish painted 4 walls, for which he required a total of 7.92 liters of paint. To find out how much paint was used to paint one wall, we have to divide 7.92 by 4. We can write 7.92 in the form 792 by 100. So the division will become 792 upon 100 divided by 4. To find the result of division, we will write the first number 792 by 100 as it is and multiply it by the reciprocal of the second number 4, that is 1 by 4. 792 by 100 into 1 by 4 is equal to 792 into 1 by 100 into 4. We can write this as 1 into 792 by 100 into 4. Can you tell us why we can write 792 into 1 is equal to 1 into 792? Think a little. Because the order of multiplication of two numbers is commutative, which means it can be done in any order. 1 into 792 by 100 into 4 can also be written as 1 by 100 into 792 by 4. Dividing 792 by 4 will give the result 198, and 1 by 100 into 198 is equal to 1.98. So we can say that Manish used 1.98 liters of paint to paint one wall. Next example. A plane covers a distance of 3076.48 kilometers in 2.3 hours. Find out how many kilometers does it travel per hour. The example shows that the aircraft covers a distance of 3076.48 kilometers in 2.3 hours duration. If we have to find out how many kilometers it travels per hour, then for this, we have to divide 3076.48 by 2.3. So let's find the result. We will look at another method of dividing two decimal numbers. First, we write this division as 3076.48 by 2.3. Then, we will convert the denominator into a whole number. Just think of how you can do this. Let me tell you, if we multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 10, the numerator and denominator will remain the same, but the decimal point will move one place to the right. There is a decimal point after 23 and there are no digits after this. We can say that now there is a whole part of decimal number, so we can ignore the decimal point. In summary, we can say that if the decimal point of the numerator and the denominator is moved one place to the right, then we get a whole number in the place of the denominator. Now we can divide 30,764.8 by 23. Let us solve this using long division method. Here, 30,764.8 is the dividend and 23 is the divisor. To divide, we first check whether the whole part of the dividend is smaller or larger than the divisor. Here, 30,764 is greater than 23, so we can divide it. By dividing the whole part, we now get the whole part of the quotient, 1,337, and the remainder as 13. Now the next digit is 8, which is after the decimal point. Therefore, we will place the decimal point after the whole part of the quotient and take 8 down. This now makes the number 138. Now we divide 138 by 23. By multiplying 23 into 6, we get 138. So, we will write 6 after the decimal point in the quotient and subtract 138 from 138 to get 0. The quotient we get is 1337.6. Thus, the aeroplane travels 1337.6 kilometers per hour. So today, we have seen examples of division of decimal numbers. In the next video, we will dispel certain of decimal numbers. Misconception 1. Harshita is making a wall hanging. She has taken a 6.6 meter long ribbon and she wants to make 330 parts of it. What would be the length of each piece? While dividing, students often have this misconception that larger numbers should be divided by smaller numbers. So they divide 330 by 6.6. This gives them the result 50, which is the wrong answer. Hence, option 1 is incorrect. Here, Harshita has divided 6.6 meters into 330 parts. So the length of each part will be obtained from 6.6 divided by 330. We can do this division as follows. Pause the video and try to understand. 6.6 divided by 330 will give you 0.02. Therefore, the length of each piece will be 0.02 meter. Misconception 2. Roshan and Mohan were discussing the concept of division. Roshan said that the result of division is always a small number, while Mohan said that the result of division can be a large number as well. So tell us who is right. Some students have this misconception that the result of multiplication is always a large number. Similarly, they also have the misconception that the result of division is always a small number. Let's resolve this misconception. If we divide 6 by 2, we get the result 3. But if we divide 6 by 0.2, we get the result 30. So, we can say that the result of division cannot always be a small number. This means Roshan's thinking is wrong. So, option 1 is the wrong answer. Since Mohan understood correctly that the result of division can also be a large number, Mohan's understanding is correct. Hence, option 2 is correct. So today, we looked at some misconceptions related to the division of decimal numbers.